The first one was Swing Shift. So we did that and we met there, we fell in love, and then we got together and we had a baby.
She had that kind of smile that could light up an entire neighborhood. Goldie Hawn, America's Golden Girl Oscar winner and queen of feel-good movies, made everyone laugh without even trying. But behind that sunshine glow was a woman searching for something real, something that fame and money couldn't buy. She survived 2 broken marriages, faced heartbreak like a warrior, and still carried that same sparkle in her eyes. Now, at 79, Goldie is revealing something nobody ever saw coming. A story about one man, the only man she says truly understood her, the one who made her feel something she could never let go of. And no, it's not the man the world always assumed. It's time to step inside Goldie's private world and uncover a secret love story that's been quietly unfolding for decades. Born to shine, Goldie Hawn entered the world in Washington, D.C. Her mom, Laura, ran a jewelry shop and dance school, while her dad, Edward Hawn, was a skilled musician and conductor with German and English roots. Even connected to Edward Rutledge, the youngest man to sign the Declaration of Independence. Her mom's side brought Hungarian Jewish heritage, giving Goldie a rich mix of cultures from the start. She grew up in a Jewish home in Tacoma Park, Maryland, alongside her sister Patty. But what the girls didn't know was that they once had a brother, Edward Jr., who tragically passed away as a baby before Patty was born. Goldie found the stage early. At just 3 years old, she was already dancing, ballet, tap, you name it, and stealing every show she touched. By age 10, she was performing in the Nutcracker with the Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, and that was just her warm-up. By 1964, she had danced in Romeo and Juliet and was running her own ballet school. She left college, where she studied drama, to chase her dreams full speed ahead. From performing can-can at the New York World's Fair to becoming a go-go dancer in clubs across New York and New Jersey, Goldie was unstoppable. And Hollywood couldn't possibly ignore a fire like hers. Her big moment came fast, and wow, did it change everything. Goldie's real break hit in 1968 when she joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. That bubbly laugh, those goofy jokes, and her unforgettable smile made her an instant favorite. Overnight, she wasn't just another TV face, she was the face everyone adored. That same year, she popped up in the one and only genuine original family band, but it was Cactus Flower in 1969 that flipped her whole world upside down. She didn't just shine, she exploded into stardom. Goldie won both an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress, proving she wasn't just funny, she was the real deal. The hits just kept coming. There's a Girl in My Soup, Butterflies Are Free, The Sugarland Express, Shampoo, Foul Play, Seems Like Old Times, and Private Benjamin. The last one even scored her a second Oscar nomination, this time for Best Actress. From Overboard to Death Becomes Her, The First Wives Club, and The Christmas Chronicles, Goldie proved she had that rare spark that could make every generation laugh together. But while her career looked like a fairy tale, her love life had twists that no movie could script. Before fame found her, Goldie had a few early flings. She dated actor Mark Goddard and a singer named Spiro Oz. Yet her first real love story was with Gus Triconis, a dancer and actor from West Side Story. Goldie met Gus in the late 1960s while performing, and she once said she wanted to marry him the moment they met. They tied the knot in Hawaii in May 1969, all starry-eyed and full of passion. But as Goldie's fame shot sky high, Gus struggled to find steady work. Their lives started moving in opposite directions, fast. The distance between them quietly grew until it couldn't be ignored. They separated in 1973, and Goldie didn't file for divorce until New Year's Eve, 1975. By then, she had already met someone new, and was engaged again. The divorce became final in June 1976, and just weeks later, Goldie was walking down the aisle for round 2. Her second shot at love came with musician and actor Bill Hudson from the Hudson Brothers. They met in first class on a flight from New York to Los Angeles. Talk about fate flying in style. Their connection was instant, fast, and intense. They got married on July 3, 1976, right in Goldie's hometown, hoping for a fresh start. Soon, they welcomed 2 children, Oliver and Kate, who would grow up to be Hollywood stars loved by millions. But even with a picture-perfect family, the cracks were there from the start. By 1980, Bill filed for divorce, later admitting he had doubts from the very beginning. Love, it seemed, was never as simple for Goldie as it looked on screen. On their wedding day, Bill said he felt like the luckiest guy alive, but Goldie leaned in and whispered, "Are you sure we did the right thing?" That question haunted him for years. Bill claimed he was ready for a calm, committed family life. But deep down, he believed Goldie wanted something totally different. More freedom, less structure, and definitely not that traditional setup he dreamed of. After the breakup, things got messy fast. Bill and Goldie clashed on nearly everything, especially when it came to raising their kids. Bill said he felt like an outsider, like he was watching his children grow up from behind glass while wishing he could be a real present dad. Over the years, both of Goldie's ex-husbands spoke out, and what they said wasn't always kind. Gus Triconis claimed Goldie changed once fame hit her like a tidal wave. He said her success pulled her far away from their marriage, and that she started hanging out with A-listers like Barbra Streisand and Jack Nicholson. Her whole energy, he said, became wild and unrecognizable. Bill Hudson didn't stay silent either. He told his story with sharp honesty, saying Goldie showed the world a polished, perfect image. But behind closed doors, he saw someone totally different. He described her as controlling and self-centered, insisting that her public version of their relationship wasn't the truth. Bill said he wanted a close, united family, while Goldie, in his view, didn't share that same dream. He also completely rejected Goldie's suggestion that their marriage was open, saying he never agreed to anything like that. Not even close. What cut him the deepest was feeling like he lost his kids in the process. He said that pain stayed buried in him for years, long after the ink dried on the divorce papers. Goldie might have been Hollywood's shining star, but behind all that glitter, she carried heartbreak, disappointment, and emotional storms that the cameras never caught. 2 marriages had crumbled, and both ex-husbands held on to their bitterness for years after it all ended. Still, even with all that pain and public judgment, Goldie never stopped moving forward. She focused on raising her kids, building her career, and finding peace within herself. Then, against all odds, she opened her heart once more to someone who would completely change her story. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell first crossed paths way back in 1966 while filming the one and only, genuine original family band, long before either of them had any idea what fate had planned. Goldie was 21 and Kurt was just 16, 2 young dreamers crossing paths before they even knew what destiny had in store. Despite the age gap, Goldie never forgot her first impression, saying years later, "I thought he was adorable." But nothing happened then. Both had a rule about not dating fellow actors. Their meeting stayed a sweet little memory, not knowing that 17 years later, that same spark would come roaring back and flip their worlds upside down. Fast forward to 1983, they reunited when Kurt auditioned for Swing Shift, and that moment changed everything. Kurt had been out late the night before, feeling rough and nervous, when Goldie walked in. Without thinking, he blurted out, "Man, you got a great figure." It could have gone terribly, but Goldie just grinned and said, "Why, thank you." Instantly, the tension was gone. Not long after, they went on their first date, and it was anything but ordinary. They started at the Playboy Club, dancing to swing music, laughing like they'd known each other forever. Then, they drove to a house Goldie had just bought, except she didn't have the keys yet. So, the two of them literally broke in. Yes, really, it was her house. While exploring the empty rooms, they ended up in the bedroom she imagined for herself, and the moment turned unexpectedly romantic. But before things could go further, flashing lights hit the windows. The police had shown up, thinking they were burglars. They got out fast and finished their night at a hotel, and Kurt later said, "That was our first date." What a story to start a love like theirs. From that wild night on, things between them moved fast and real. Once filming began on Swing Shift, they got to spend more time together, and that's when the sparks truly flew. Goldie said Kurt was handsome, sure, but it was his honesty that pulled her in. "I could tell right away he wasn't a womanizer," she shared proudly. But what truly melted her heart was how Kurt treated her kids. Goldie already had 2 children, Oliver and Kate, from her marriage to Bill Hudson, and she often brought them to set. She watched closely, and what she saw changed everything. Kurt wasn't just being polite, he genuinely cared. That kindness, that natural warmth with her children, was the moment Goldie realized this wasn't just another Hollywood fling, it was something real, something worth holding on to. "What really got me was when I watched my kids," Goldie shared. "He was amazing with them." Kurt had this natural, effortless way of connecting that went way beyond romance. It was deeper than love. Soon they weren't just dating anymore, they were building a family. In 1986, 3 years after they began seeing each other, Goldie and Kurt welcomed their own baby boy, Wyatt Russell. He joined their already blended crew. Oliver and Kate from Goldie's marriage to Bill Hudson, and Boston, Kurt's son from a previous relationship. It was a full, beautiful mix of love and laughter under one roof. Despite the long years together, they never felt pressured to get married, and they didn't need to. In 2021, Goldie posted a birthday message to Kurt that said it all. No, we never got married. But one thing that continues to grow is our love. She called him a wild one, brilliant, lovable, childlike, perfectly maddening, a supreme father, and deeply funny. Then she added, I can't imagine my life without you at any age. Kurt Russell, you're the catch and you're all mine. Their chemistry didn't stop at home. It lit up the screen too. In 1987, they starred together in Overboard, one of Hollywood's most beloved romantic comedies. Goldie played a spoiled heiress who loses her memory, while Kurt's character hilariously tricks her into believing they're married. The film was funny, warm, and full of real-life sparks that fans could actually feel. Years later, in 2020, the couple rewatched Overboard on TV, and Goldie grinned, saying, "It was so fabulous how we started." That spark never faded, and they proved it again and again, both on screen and off. In 1989, they hit the Oscars stage together to present an award and turned it into an unforgettable moment. Goldie said, "We fit in perfectly with the theme tonight because we're co-stars, we're compadres, we're companions, and we're a couple." Without missing a beat, Kurt shot back, "There's only one thing, we're not married." The crowd burst into laughter and cheers. Goldie, smiling wide, teased, "Is that a proposal?" And Kurt winked, saying, "Listen, we'll talk about it later tonight." Goldie laughed and replied, "We will talk about that later." The exchange was playful, magnetic, and so them, full of love and humor that came straight from the heart. In 1996, they made another big appearance together, this time at the premiere of The First Wives Club. Goldie, who starred alongside Diane Keaton and Bette Midler, shone on the red carpet, while Kurt stood proudly by her side. Their kids joined them too, turning it into a true family celebration. As the years rolled on, Goldie and Kurt's story only grew richer. They became grandparents to 7 grandkids, yet their love never lost its spark. They laughed, they worked, they faced life together, proving that even without a wedding ring, they had something far stronger. A partnership built on respect, laughter, loyalty, and a kind of love that keeps growing with every generation. In 2003, Goldie shared the sweetest thought during an interview. She said she wasn't in a rush, but she couldn't wait to be a grandmother someday. "It would be so much fun," she smiled. Not long after, her daughter Kate Hudson made a heartwarming announcement. She was expecting her first child in the Hawn-Russell family. Kate became the first to step into motherhood on January 8, 2004, when she and her then-husband, Chris Robinson, welcomed their baby boy, Ryder Russell Robinson. Kate was only 24, but she knew exactly why she wanted to start a family young. "I want children early enough to really experience my parents young," she once said. "I want my parents to be able to see my kids graduate from high school." Those words touched Goldie's heart deeply. And just like that, Goldie and Kurt officially became proud grandparents, starting a brand new chapter filled with laughter, love, and chaos in the best way possible. But, of course, the story didn't slow down there. The next adventures were even brighter. In 2006, the couple attended the premiere of Poseidon in Italy, and wow, did they steal the spotlight. It was Kurt's big movie at the time, and Goldie stood right beside him on the red carpet, glowing with pride. At one point, Kurt couldn't resist. He leaned in and kissed her right there in front of the cameras. Fans went wild seeing their real-life romance shining stronger than ever. Fast forward to 2016. Goldie turned 71, and she celebrated in serious Hollywood style. Her birthday bash took place at Catch LA, one of the city's hottest celebrity hangouts. She arrived smiling, holding a big gift from Kurt, but the night's most special surprise waited for her back home. Their daughter Kate posted a heart-melting photo online, a picture of the fireplace Kurt had built in their new home. She captioned it, "My pa laid the stone for the fireplace in our new home," and added, "If you look closely, he put a big heart representing Mama, and I'm gonna say him too, with 4 little hearts representing us kids. That sweet gesture said it all. Their love wasn't about showy words. It lived in the quiet, thoughtful moments. Goldie was absolutely glowing again in 2017 at the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 premiere, where Kurt had a major role. She stood proudly by his side, cheering him on with that same bright smile that lit up her early career. "I'm always proud of him," she said, even admitting she hadn't seen the film yet, because for her, just being there for him was what really mattered. But the most emotional moment was still to come. Just weeks later, something unforgettable happened on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In May 2017, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell finally got their stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And what a day it was. The event wasn't just about their legendary careers, it was about their unshakable bond. Goldie later admitted it turned into a total love fest. "I didn't expect him to say those things," she said softly. "I had no idea he was going to be so beautiful during his speech." Then came the moment that melted everyone's hearts. Kurt turned toward her and said, "To you, I owe my wonderful life. Simply put, Goldie, I cherish you. All the stars in the sky or on the boulevard can't hold a candle to that." He ended with, "There's no one else I'd rather be next to for all of that than Goldie Hawn." The crowd was stunned, and when they kissed beside their new stars, the place erupted. It was one of those rare Hollywood moments that felt 100% genuine. Later that month, Goldie opened up about the secret to their lasting love. Love, gratitude, compassion. Because sometimes every man or woman will drive their partner crazy, she joked. She said their bond wasn't about fame or glamour. It was about the simple life they built together, one step at a time, always choosing each other again and again. In 2018, the magic hit the screen once more. Goldie and Kurt reunited in The Christmas Chronicles on Netflix, playing none other than Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It was their first film together since Overboard, and fans couldn't get enough. Goldie's role was small but sweet, and their son Oliver even made an appearance, turning it into a full family moment. By the time The Christmas Chronicles 2 dropped in 2020, Goldie had a much bigger role as Mrs. Claus, and the couple got to shine side by side again. When asked why they didn't do more movies together, Kurt laughed and explained, "Goldie Hawn movies and movies that I'm in are pretty different things. It's not mandatory just because you live with someone, love someone, and enjoy working together that you should do 10 or 15 movies together." They were picky with projects, but when they did share the screen, it always felt special. Then came another family milestone. In October 2018, Kate Hudson gave birth to her daughter, Ronnie Rose. Goldie and Kurt were over the moon, thrilled to welcome another grandchild into their growing family. Over the years, they'd proudly become grandparents to 7 beautiful kids: Ryder, Bingham, Ronnie, Bodie, Wilder, Rio, and Buddy, each one deeply cherished. Their social media became a window into that love. Sweet family photos, laughter, celebrations, and beach days. And by March 2019, the couple jetted off to Hawaii to celebrate Kurt's 68th birthday. Goldie posted a short, heartwarming video of them walking hand in hand, laughing like teenagers again. After decades together, they still had that same playful spark, proving to the world that real love, the kind built on laughter and loyalty, truly never fades. In December 2020, Goldie and Kurt opened up like never before about what really kept their love strong after all those years together. During an interview with People, Goldie said it best, "You've just gotta want to be together. I don't think there's any other way to do it." When asked again why they never got married, she gave a simple, heartfelt answer. "It's not about the marriage. It's about the people, the relationship, and the will to stay together. If you want it, you can have it," she added with a smile. "You've got to give things up sometimes. But the joy and excitement of being together, of touching toes at night, is a really nice feeling." Their love wasn't just about passion. It was about comfort, laughter, and the peace that comes from truly knowing your person. Then, in January 2021, their family grew by one more, a fluffy new puppy named Roy Hawn Russell. Goldie shared a sweet picture of herself cuddling the pup, and fans went crazy over it. It was another perfect glimpse into the warmth and humor that defined their life together. Valentine's Day always held special meaning for them, and on February 14th, 2022, Goldie celebrated 39 years of love with a touching Instagram tribute to Kurt. Fans couldn't stop gushing, still amazed that after 4 decades together, they'd never officially tied the knot. But Goldie and Kurt had their reasons, and they weren't shy about them. In March 2023, Kurt told Variety, "When we first got together, people kept asking, 'When are you going to get married? Why aren't you married?' He laughed and said, 'We both thought, why does anybody care about that?' They even asked their kids what they thought, and the kids didn't care either. That was enough for them. No paper, no pressure, just love." A few months later, in July 2023, Goldie spoke with Chris Wallace on CNN and got real about one major reason they chose not to marry: divorce. "It's always ugly," she said honestly. "How many divorces don't cost money? How many divorces haven't hurt children?" Then she added something powerful, something that summed up their entire relationship. "I like the idea that I can wake up in the morning and make decisions every day if I want to be here." For her, choosing to stay was more powerful than any ring or legal document could ever be. Their love wasn't about formality. It was about choice, loyalty, and showing up for each other through every high and low life threw their way. By December 2023, the couple was spotted enjoying a snowy vacation in Aspen, Colorado, hand in hand, cozy in their winter jackets, stealing kisses while shopping downtown. Even after 40 years, they still looked like teenagers in love. But just weeks later, things took a serious turn. Goldie opened up on the Kelly Ripa podcast about a terrifying experience. Their Los Angeles home had been broken into twice. She recalled the first time vividly. "We went out to dinner and came back a couple hours later. I walked into my closet and just lost it. Burglars had broken in through the balcony, slipped into their bedroom, and smashed through her closet door. They completely knocked down my safe door," she explained. "They got a lot of my goodies, if you know what I mean." It was a chilling reminder that even in a life full of glamour and love, danger can sneak in when you least expect it. But through it all, Goldie and Kurt still stood side by side, unshaken and stronger than ever. Goldie believed the burglars who hit their home were professionals, quick, skilled, and scarily precise. She thought that nightmare was over, and honestly, the odds of it happening again seemed tiny. But just 4 months later, it did happen again. This time, while she was home alone. She recalled hearing a loud thump upstairs one night and brushing it off as maybe something outside. But the next morning, she and Kurt discovered clear signs that someone had tried to break in again. This time, it wasn't just a scare, it was a wake-up call. Goldie admitted she was shaken to her core. After that, she and Kurt completely changed how they lived, bringing in personal guards, locking down their home, and taking no chances. "I'm never without a guard now," she said firmly. Eventually, they decided on something even bigger. They left their Malibu home behind and relocated to Palm Desert, 2.5 hours inland. It was a massive change for them, especially after so many years of being near their kids. Their daughter, Kate Hudson, now lives in the family's old Malibu house, the same one she and her siblings grew up in. Kate later told Howard Stern that she used to be super codependent on her mom and still feels deeply connected to their family unit. "Our family is just nuts in the best way," Kate laughed. "Everyone's so different, but everyone wants to enjoy life. There's a life force in our family, and it's amazing." That bond, that energy, kept the Hawn-Russell clan stronger than ever, even through all the chaos. But fans have always wondered, what really made Kurt the one for Goldie? In April 2024, she revealed the answer in a heartfelt interview on Sirius XM's Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. She shared the exact moment she knew Kurt was her person, and it wasn't just about his good looks or charm, though yes, she admitted he was handsome and funny as hell. What truly made it click was how much he loved and respected children. Family meant everything to Goldie, and seeing Kurt share that same devotion sealed it for her. "I knew he wasn't just a partner," she said. "He was someone I could build a life with." Over the years, that life grew fuller, with Kate, Oliver, Wyatt, and now 7 grandchildren filling their world with laughter and love. Goldie says that connection, that personal spark, still matters just as much today. In September 2024, she spoke to E! News and got candid about what keeps them strong. "You have to have good communication," she said. "Something that connects you and creates belonging. People with healthy relationships usually last a lot longer." Then she laughed and added, "You also have to be nice to each other. Sometimes." She even opened up about monogamy, a bold topic in Hollywood. "You're in the prime of your life. You're attracted to other people potentially," she said. "But that doesn't mean you act on it." Goldie explained that she and Kurt are honest about everything. They talk, they listen, they keep it real. It's normal to notice others, she said, but what counts is how you handle those feelings. Their secret, what Goldie calls elastic love, a bond that bends but never breaks, stretches but never snaps. That openness, honesty, and deep respect are what have kept them together all these years, still laughing, still connected, still madly in love. By 2025, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell had been together for more than 41 years, and their love still looked brand new. On March 2nd, 2025, they graced the Oscars red carpet, glowing like true Hollywood royalty. Goldie stunned in a bright yellow Dolce & Gabbana gown that lit up the room, while Kurt stood proudly beside her in a sharp black tuxedo, his hand locked in hers, the picture of timeless love. The night was full of glitz and flashbulbs, but what really stole the show wasn't the fashion. It was the way they looked at each other. After 4 decades, their eyes still told the same love story. Goldie took the stage as one of the presenters, but even then, all anyone could see was the chemistry between her and Kurt, that unspoken connection that's impossible to fake. When asked how he felt about their 41 years together, Kurt smiled and said with pure honesty, "I just love the fact that we met, and that we're still doing it. We still like being together." Simple words, but filled with meaning. Through the ups and downs, the kids, the moves, the fame, and even the break-ins, nothing ever cracked the foundation they built. Maybe that's the real secret. No marriage license, no fancy rules, just 2 people choosing each other every single day. Their story isn't just Hollywood magic. It's proof that real love, when it's honest and kind, can outlast it all. So tell us, what's your favorite Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if you felt the love. Subscribe for more inspiring celebrity stories. And don't forget to share this one with someone who still believes in forever.